hanging it on and giving and getting and giving. If you watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the episode with the sirens, live next door to Carl, and that song has been stuck in my head for quite a long while, and I just keep singing it. Ew. The Epstein files, Epstein, J.E. I'll just probably say J.E. to keep things simpler, but I know obviously it's a highly controversial topic because they were released but heavily redacted. And in this video, I'm not going to go into the details about the details of the files. I'm going over why it's important that those files are released. A lot of times what you'll hear with conspiracies is, why is this important to me and why should I care? This could be from anything from 9/11 to they're turning the frogs gay. This is why it's important, at least this particular conspiracy, even though now it's kind of proven to be true. And if you are on the fence about why you should or should not jump into digging a little bit deeper, this video is for you. If you're unsure, or if you're the person that's like, well, why is this important? I'm gonna lay out a few notes, a few guidelines on why this is actually one of the biggest turning points, not only in American history, but for humanity. So if you're new here, my name's Ash. I know I use beauty and spirituality to help expand your consciousness, maybe? We still working on why I'm here. Why are the Epstein files so important? It's always somebody that's going, well, why is this important for me to know? Oh my God, how does knowing about these conspiracies change my life? Why should I care that these people are doing these things? Rich people are gonna rich people. They're already evil. So it's just kind of goes without saying that they're up to some sick shit. My answer to that argument is, this isn't just conspiracy anymore. We have documentation upon documentation about these kinds of people committing these heinous acts against not only adults, but children, mostly children, to whatever little sick ritual, blackmail rings, whatever way they need to get their sick little energy from these people. They are taking these people, never to be seen or heard from again. And in some cases, it's a part of their own family. Maybe me personally is not in there, but I believe that the celebrities that we love so much, the politicians that we think are supposed to have their backs, billionaires, trillionaires, whoever, I think they use their children and people in their family in these kind of rituals that this specific cabal of people, we have some sort of proof, some sort of guidelines of which this particular sect or cabal of people were doing to help with whatever agenda they had in mind. And now we can see about how this particular group of people feel about you. What do they call the normies? They call us goy. They honestly think that you slaves, and they will continue to bleed us dry through our ignorance, steal our children, steal our family and friends, steal our money, steal our resources. And they really feel like there's nothing, they really feel entitled to our labor, to our resources. They feel entitled to this because we're nothing but animals to them. Once you're dealing with this psychopathic group, they would justify anything. Like, this actually leads me to another point of why everything's getting so expensive, because inflation is actually a secret tax. It is another way for them to exploit your labor to where people, some people, not all, but some people feel like they have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to get by. And the more you make, the more they take. Well, why can't we get ahead? Well, they run the banks. They have politicians in their back pocket that could just pass whatever laws. And if they don't give people that pass laws, they'll use the kids. They'll use not only children, financial favors, whatever other tactics they have in their hands to bribe and to move things in their favor. And so what happens when everything just keeps getting increasingly expensive and our dollar isn't stretching out as far as it used to? Eventually we're gonna have an economic crash, and hopefully we don't have to get to this part, but we're gonna have bread at $10 a loaf, and no one can afford a $10 loaf of bread except for the haves that can afford that. and then the have-nots practically eating each other on the streets. Another thing that I noticed, I think in the files, I know J.E. was really big on cloning, and I think they said they worked with Michael Bay on the movie The Island. And of course, they really big into AI and things like that, which would make sense because it's probably not new to anyone, but what AI does is that all of it is robbing your ability to have an original thought. If they can control or dumb down the part of you that has original thoughts, you can't think of original ways of how to live your life, how to make money for yourself. You're going to rely on everybody but yourself to do that because that part of you is now become numbed, and you dull your intuition. The one thing that they cannot control, which they have to go to other means to kind of shut it down or at least repress it and slow it down, they can't control intuition and they can't control improvisation. If you were to be improvisational and do something off the cuff and not something that was already drilled in your head, you would not be able to think outside the box about who your enemy is and how to defeat him. Now that goes without saying, I believe there's no enemy outside of yourself, but this cabal of people likes to use fear through attacking your survival. So that's through your money, your household, your family. They'll attack that, so then that way you're scared and you cannot think straight enough to think about, well, how am I gonna get myself out of this situation? That's why AI slop, the overuse of telephones and technology. I'm gonna do burnt orange. Okay. It's late, y'all. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Anyway, for race relations, yes. You see how they like to call us goy? And they had a they got a word for us, y'all. And guess what? It ain't nigger or cracker. It's goy. And just look up the word goy with goyim. Goyim is the word. Goy, I think, is the shorter term. But yeah, let's look that up. They have to keep us infighting with each other because they see us all the fucking same. We're nothing to them. We meat to them. We're batteries trying to power a fucked up machine. This is beyond black and white. And this is especially important for my quote unquote woke people to understand, like, bro, this is not a black and white battle no more. They play both sides. They are both Republican and they both Democrat, and they are out to eat you and your children. They don't care. The race baiting was designed to distract us, and we've been saying this for years. And it took me I won't say a real long time, but it took me a decent amount of time to understand, like, we can't be having this fake hatred in our hearts for our neighbors, black or white, or else we're gonna be decimated. We're gonna be taken down. And what do you say when you look at your neighbor and y'all both trying to get a loaf of bread and none of you guys can afford it? Are you still gonna say, oh, that cracker ass cracker? Huh? Are you gonna say, oh, the niggers, it's the niggers' fault? No. I mean, I hope not. Some of y'all can't hold on to a grudge because y'all ain't got shit else better to do with your life. Just think about that for a minute. They use race to bait us when they just see us all as food. J.E. in the video that was released of him doing like these mock interviews, he said something really important. What he said was Clinton used the rhetoric that if the banks didn't approve super high risk consumers of the loans, they would classify them as racist, and that's not really a racist thing if you yourself are high risk and you'd have trouble paying back loans. That's just a smart business move to make sure that it all kind of keeps running smoothly and effectively. Then again, like, white people, you gotta stop being afraid of being called a racist for calling out shit behavior. They can't scare us anymore into saying they racist or anti-Semitic or this, that, and the other when we just calling out behavior that we see. We just recognizing patterns over and over again. You have to get over that. You have to stop being afraid of that, because that's another tactic that they use to keep you scared and keep you quiet. They call this butthole lips. That's so funny. You guys are creative. Anyway, now that the files are released, we can know who we're up against. You can know your enemy, so to speak. You know now it's not just one side fighting against the other. It's not black versus whites. It's not this race versus that race. It's not It's not any of those things that they keep trying to point towards to make it seem like we have these different enemies when we really, the enemy is actually hidden in plain sight, so to speak. We know a little bit of who we're up against, and we know who at the very least that we cannot trust, which is anybody that they put on the TV screen in Congress. We just can't trust them anymore. We know a little bit more of our enemy now, and we know it's not just as simplistic as black versus white, and it's not as simple as rich versus poor either, because there's a lot of rich people that ain't in them files, I bet. You also now have a course of action. No one can be trusted anywhere. What do I have to do to protect my family, or just myself if you don't, have family, or maybe you have some dear friends that you would like to help protect throughout all of this. People always ask, well, what are you going to do? Like, they have more power, so there's nothing you can really do about it. I'm like, and to that I say, there's something you can do about it. I feel very chola right now. Oh, I feel very Dominican mommy. So now that you have a course of action, you can help defend maybe family or friends or just yourself. And now you have a course of action to take. Now you can go, well, I don't know what to do in these certain situations, and I feel powerless. Oh, now you know what you can do. You can shut off the TV, you can shut off your phones, you can opt out all the goofy shit that may have been distracting you before. Maybe you were on the fence about, oh, should I hate white people or black people the problem? You now can go, it's this bigger group of cabal of people that keep trying to direct humanity in such a way. Those people are the problem, not my next door neighbor. You can start taking back control of your life. You can start to release the fear, because now the things that are not in the dark are in the light, and you can take back control over your life. We don't have to rely on them for much of anything. They just convinced us that we needed them in such a way where we gave all our power away. But now we can take it back, because it's real easy to topple something than it is to build something. They've been at this for what? Maybe hundreds of years, centuries. They've been at this for centuries. Think of how quick it could be to just topple that over with simple little acts of defiance, growing your own food or whatever. Follow the doomsday preppers is that's what you want to get, but there are ways out of this situation that we've gotten into that if we just start to learn how to think for ourselves and not think outside of ourselves. Anyway, I'm not in love with her, but I like her. If you enjoyed this little ditty, I appreciate it if you subscribed, if you could stay, if you could like the video, share, all the stuff. Other than that, thanks for watching and peace.